Hi guys, welcome to the War Room, and yes, another fantastic Testimony Tuesday. So today we are going to finish part 2 of the narcissist spirit, where I gave testimony last week where I was telling you guys about my challenges in my past marriage with dealing with the narcissist spirit and all of his invited guests that he brought along with him, and all the things that I had to face and that I was up against. And I also spoke with you about some visions that God had given me. And if you want to know what they are, you have to go back to last week's testimony and view it. By the way, I want to thank you guys for viewing and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your comments and everything. Thank you for reaching out. It is greatly appreciated to know that the testimonies are helping in some ways, that there is something that is said that will help you with any area or situation in your life that you may be dealing with. Okay, I am so humbly honored that I can bring some sort of insight to you. So this testimony and this vision today, like I said, it still comes from a place back then where I was dealing with the narcissist spirit and all of his cousins, brothers, sisters, papa, mama, and all of them who had come in to overtake, and I wouldn't say overtake me as far as, because I don't believe in all, well, I can't say I don't believe in all that possession stuff, because that stuff is real, but, you know, that ain't nothing I'm into, where it presented himself, the narcissist spirit, and he had took full control over someone, and I didn't realize that I was dealing with a spirit and not the person. And so manipulation, there were so many. I believe I named them last week. But anyway, along with that, to recap, the recap part is over anyway, but to continue on, I'm just going to say that those spirits that I was faced with and challenged on an everyday basis were too much for me. And at that time, like I said, I had no knowledge of what I was dealing with. I personally thought it was the person and that they was such a terrible person, Lord. But I was dealing with something in the spiritual. And because God was calling me to a higher place, you know, I had let go of so much of who I was and so much of the things that God had already revealed to me and showed me that I didn't even pay attention. I couldn't recognize it. Manipulation was very strong. Now that spirit was just knocking me all upside my head. It was twisting things, making me feel as if I was in the wrong all the time. This spirit was so dominant and so present, it kind of had me feeling like I didn't know if I was coming or going. I really didn't. The gaslighting spirit, I couldn't tell if it wasn't me. I just took all the blame for everything all the time, to the point to where it had gotten so heavy that sometimes I was so stressed that I didn't know who I was or where I was. Now this is serious, guys, because when it gets this deep, you might need to look at yourself. You might need to look at your spiritual background and find out what it is that you need to do with God to find out how do you get closer to him, or whatever it is you need to do. Those spirits were double teaming me so much to where I would get anxiety. One minute I'm standing there, the next minute I'm waking up and somebody is telling me, you blacked out, you fell, you hit your head on the edge of the table. And I'm like, no, I didn't fall out. There were many times that I did. I blacked out and went to the hospital. Each time they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They never told me it was stress. They never said anything. They just couldn't find anything. So one minute I'm fine. The next minute when I knew something was happening or coming, because I would get super hot and I couldn't breathe. And next thing you know, they said I blacked out. Being that the doctors couldn't find anything in my head, MRIs and all that stuff, and nothing, absolutely nothing. I still didn't have enough. I don't want to say sense, but that's the only word I can find right now in this moment, because it seemed to be the only one that fits. I didn't have enough sense to know that it was spiritual, because again, mind you, I wasn't there yet. God was calling me to that, but I wasn't there yet. And even though I had experience back in the past, this was on a whole different level. This was more than I could handle. And not only could they not find anything in my head or any tumors or anything, no reason as to why I was blacking out. No reason. We just had to, everybody just had to watch me. And it had gotten to a place that I felt like, I don't need no babysit. I don't need anybody to watch me and keep an eye on me. But I couldn't be alone by myself in their eyes, because they thought that I would hurt myself. But nothing ever happened when I was alone. Yeah, I'll leave that right there. So, and not only that, I was also faced with some challenges in my body. And this came maybe some years later. I was faced with challenges in my body. Let's just say I was like the woman in the Bible with the issue, with the 12-year issue. Yeah, that happened to the point to where I was losing so much blood that they were afraid that I needed a blood transfusion. And it would happen for months at a time. Like, there would be some instances where ladies, where it's normal for maybe 7 days, 3 days for some of us, and different things like that. Not for me. That thing lasted for 3 months, and then take a break for maybe 5 days, maybe 7 days. And then I'm right back to it. 3 months. It would go up sometime, maybe 4 months. I had gotten so weak. I can't say I lost weight, but I was very weak. And then attached to that came this slumber spirit. Like, I could not fight the spirit of slumber and sleep. I thought I was lazy when I knew I wasn't, but I just couldn't get out the bed. I could not move. The kids would get up and get ready for school, and I couldn't get out the bed. And I couldn't explain to them why I couldn't get out the bed. I know they probably thought I was lazy, and at the time my husband probably thought I was, but that wasn't the case. I didn't know what was happening to me and what was going on. But most of the times I literally would lay there and wait for someone to touch me so that I can move. Like, I was just that weak. I couldn't do anything. And I would lay there for a long time. Everybody going to school, going to work, and I'm still laying there 2-3 hours, maybe an hour or two right before the kids had to get out of school, that I was able to move. And when I finally get up enough strength to sit up, I'm sitting here like, what's wrong with me? Why am I this bad off? I couldn't figure it out. But all these spirits had come up against me because they knew that I had an assignment, and they knew who I was, and they were doing whatever they had to do to distract me. And in distracting me, it caused issues to come in my body. It caused a lot of sicknesses and just issues. I'm not going to say sicknesses, but issues, So along with those challenges, I just got tired, and I'm just like, Lord, look, you're going to have to get me up out of here. You're going to either have to fix this situation, help me see what I need to see to figure it out, or you are going to have to come and get me out of here. I wasn't depressed at that time. I wasn't suicidal. I wasn't any of those things. I just didn't want to be here because I felt like there was no need. There was no place. I wasn't doing anything for anybody. I was just a liability, or I was just in the way. But that was some of the tricks of the enemy playing with my mind. And that's what he does, guys. He causes all these issues. He comes in the form of whatever spirit it is that you're dealing with, and he causes these issues in your body. And I'm not saying the devil could just put something on you, because he just can't put nothing on you, because spirit has to work. It can't just work in the spirit form. It needs a physical body. So when he comes at you, and starts one thing, and you can't recognize it or face that challenge, then he comes with others. And now you are stuck feeling and going up against something. If you don't have the knowledge, you won't even know that you're dealing with a spirit.